Hello everyone and welcome to another 9 to R.I.P video. Today we are starting down Hibiki's route in the ghost stories, starting with a new game. Oh, I already have it pulled up. So in this playthrough, because we've already read the ghost stories with Kuroha, we are going to skip everything that has already been previously read in his. So if you need to watch the prologue, or if you want to know in detail what happens in the common route, then I recommend that you go and watch it starting from episode 1 on my channel. Actually, we're not starting a new game, like I lied. We're going to be starting from the prologue save that we have, and we're going to go down the ghost stories common route again. And everything that we read in Kuroha's route we're skipping. So that's going to be most of chapter 1, 2, and 3, I believe. 3, I think halfway through switches to Hibikis. So halfway through, when you go and find Hibiki instead of Kuroha, then it changes. And then chapter 4 and 5, we didn't look at Hibiki's decisions at all. So that'll be included in this one. And then we're going to be ending in chapter 5 before it goes into Hibiki's route at 6. And that'll be the next episode. For this one, we're going to be talking to our sister Tsubasa. And I'm going to use the skip function to continue on so it's quicker. I get to see the loading screen. Oh my goodness, it's very purple and pretty. I will leave timestamps down below if you want to see a certain choice, or if you just want to look at the choices in text format to get to your own route, or if you just want to get to Hibiki's playthrough in your own game. Chapter 1, we're gonna say, yes, sorry, I'm scared. Like I said, we read everything, and everything through midway chapter 3 is the same as Kuroha, exactly the same. So his affections still lead to Hibiki. This one we're going to not pull away. And we should get a perspective. Actually, I think we've seen the perspective too. So let me just skip to make sure. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and reread it. Since we are doing Hibiki's route, this was done a long time ago, so let's just freshen up on Hibiki's perspective so we can see his feelings develop for her. As she left, I sat on the stairs gazing at my hand. So whenever she touched the mirror, he got all creepy and possessive, and it turned into a longing, I think. They explain later why the dead is drawn to the living in that way. But there was that ghost with her. He was pretty intimidating. Him being near her might mean I'd never get to touch her again. Perhaps she really could see me. After all, she seemed to be interacting with that other ghost. Our eyes met, but I couldn't be sure since she didn't react to me. I stood up and peered out of the mirror. The skull on the other side remained red, not that it had anything to do with me though. I avoided the other ghosts, and this world inside the mirror was my refuge. A world created just for me. If only she'd come back to the mirror. If she'd touch it just once more. I gazed at my open hand and clenched it shut. The way you say it though, it sounds so twisted. I muttered to myself. I was left with an overwhelming sense of foreboding. I couldn't shake off this longing for the warmth of the living. Alright, skip to the next part. We're going to wait and see. He wants her to rest. And we're like, okay, we're just going to see. We'll jump to the next one. And we're going to say we heard a voice before falling asleep. They were asking if anything strange has happened. And now it's going to be taking us into chapter 2. And I think they're recalling what happened when I think she touched the mirror. She saw something when she touched it. She saw Hibiki's memories. Then the ghost touched my hand. I thought I saw some kind of vision.
なるほど。それは正しく断りに反していますね。おそらく心残りを強く持つ幽霊の思念が流れ込んできたのでしょう。ここにいる幽霊は心残りがあって成仏できずにいる者たちですから。
Things left undone. That means both that girl and Kuroha have their own unresolved issues. Just then the image of the boy in the mirror flashed before my eyes. Living with those lingering regrets must be incredibly sad and painful. I wonder if he even wants to cross over. Maybe not. That was obviously a sensitive topic, one that needed to be approached with care. It also made me wonder if the headache I felt at the time was a reflection of his own pain. Oh, that's right. When we touched, I felt as though I had a terrible headache. Could that happen again?
危険ですから、今後はあまり触れないように。闇に染まっている思念なら、あなたの精神に支障をきたします。逆にそういった思念でないならば、危険はないのですが。
The Hibiki might have some kind of darkness within him which caused him to act kind of strangely when he touched her. And over again in Kuroha's verse, she kept saying, you don't have any darkness in you, right? So you can touch me, it's okay. Oh, I guess we're going to say the next thing too. Now we're going to say what else was there, being dragged to the mirror. The grasp of the mirror Ghose nearly dragged me into his mirror.
鏡の中の?
Is something wrong?
いえ。引きずり込まれそうになったのは、聖者にしかない魅力に惹かれたからでしょう。気をつけなければ取りつかれます。私は地獄の大看守ですから、聖者に魅了されないよう訓練を受けていますが。
Then say I glanced at the others.
私は訓練を受けていないから気をつけなければね。
そうだな。もし俺に対して異常を察知したら、遠慮なく引っ叩いてくれ。
Slap me as hard as you can. We're not gonna auto. We're gonna go to the next part. I promise to do my best. I'll do my best. Let's make sure everyone gets back home safe and sound. And now we're trying to get Hibiki to come out of the mirror. We want to talk to him. Because they talked about her spiriting away, I believe. Yui mentioned it when Saya was with them. And how she forced her own spiriting away. So we're going to say, Ghost in the mirror, please come out. I called to him and waited, but no response came. Maybe once isn't enough. Please come out, I wish to speak. Nothing. It seemed the boy was nowhere to be found. Maybe one more try. I need your help, you're my only hope. He still won't come out. And glanced towards Kuroha and he just shook his head. Kuroha is being unseen to try and not threaten the boy with his presence. Turning back to the mirror, I noticed. Something's different. Getting closer, a dark shadow on the staircase caught my eye. Two dim lights flickered, sending shivers down my spine. Camouflaged against the background, they were barely visible, but they seemed to be eyes. I glanced back at Kuroha, seeking confirmation. He nodded, so... You're there, aren't you? I'd really like to talk to you. The shadow twitched slightly, but remained silent. He's near, and that reaction means he heard me, but from this distance, I needed to find a way to draw him in. He seemed intrigued by my warmth before. Perhaps getting closer to the mirror might coax him out. We did already look at both of them, but we're going to go ahead and move closer to the mirror. Maybe just a little more. He reaches out and grabs her too, I believe. And he gets all creepy and stuff. I guess we'll go ahead and read that again. Though I could feel hesitation in his gaze, he didn't speak out to stop me. I turned back to the mirror and... Creepy. The shadow of the figure suddenly stood right before me. His wild, crazy expression left me speechless, overcome with shock. He reached through and grabbed my arm. It was so fast I had no time to react. Just as I felt myself being pulled in,
それはこちらのセリフだ。
Kudaha leaped from his hiding place and tightly lashed to the boy's arm. You're going to yank him out and scold him. And then he's going to say he was sorry for doing that. He doesn't know what came over me. And he'll try to not frighten us again. But it's really long, so I'm going to go ahead and skip it. And we're going to say, we trust Hibiki. He'll be fine. He won't hurt us again. I trust him. I can tell he won't give in to his desires anymore. You said you came to your senses, right? You looked pretty serious about that when you said it. His gaze was always timid and shifty, but when he said those words to me, his gaze was straightforward and earnest. Which is why I chose to believe him.
信じてくれて嬉しいです。ありがとうございます。あなたには聖者というだけじゃない。あなた自身に魅力があるんですね。
That's funny because in this one he beats Kudaha to that line right there. You're making me blush. It does make me happy though.
思ったんですけど、あなたはクレハさんは大丈夫なんですか？
ああ、聖者の魅力に惹かれた覚えはない。俺は出会ってからこれまでずっと彼女自身に惹かれている。
Huh?
人としてという意味だ。深読みしなくていい。
Ah, that's what you mean. But he spoke made me happy. It's like he thinks I'm a good person.
かっこいい。ずるい。
それはないだろう。それよりも大事なことを済ませてしまおう。
あ、そうでしたね。
Boy turned to face me again and looked directly into my eyes. Then,
僕は七不思議の一つ、引きずり鏡の怪異と認めます。本当の名前は響。覚えてくれると嬉しいです。
響。
thank you for sharing. I'll be sure to call you Hibiki from now on.
それだと僕の方が年上みたいで変です。僕は高校生の年齢じゃないし。
I had a feeling we were about the same age. Alright, I'll speak more casually then.
はい、嬉しいです。名前で呼ばれるなんてすごく久しぶりで。本当に嬉しい。
He's so cute.
気持ちはわかるな。他の幽霊から名で呼ばれることはあるが、聖者だとどうしてか心が温かくなる。
I see, so I guess they usually talk about each other using their rumor names. Hibiki, seemingly overflowing with joy, moved closer to me.
僕もお手伝いできることがあればしたいです。
Yes, thank you. That would be very helpful.
俺としても助かる。彼女を守る者は一人よりも二人いた方が安心だ。
お役に立てるように頑張ります。
鏡に引きこもるのは卒業だな。
それはできないんですけど。でも鏡の中でもできることはあります。同じ鏡を通して 見聞きすることはできますので。
I'm gonna just skip and see if it goes to a perspective change. Okay. After a really long time, it does. After returning to the mirror, I paused to catch my breath. I should have known better, but interacting with others really messed with my mind.
まあでも、いいか。
Hearing Kudaha tell me that Isao Tsukigami died was oddly satisfying.
惨めで、醜い最後だ。
How I would have liked to seen it, how I envied Kudaha. Was his body desecrated? Was he consumed by divine wrath perhaps? Well, whatever. My heart stirred at the day's good fortune. I felt warm and refreshed. Then her smile came to mind. I should head back to the mirror. She might visit me again soon.
来てくれるかな。来てほしいな。またおしゃべりしたい。
Truth be told, I was still nervous that my desire for her could go out of control again. But either way, I was glad to talk with her. She made me feel calm and warm. It wasn't warmth one feels on the skin. It was a gentle warmth, like the warm graces of the sun, one that emanates from her. It was so wonderful. It made me feel so comfortable. His little giggles are so cute. This is such a blissful feeling. I wouldn't quite say I'm satisfied, but...
さてと、階段のところに行こうっと。
We're gonna wait by the stairs like a little puppy dog awaiting their master's return. He just like lives for praise. He gets all happy and stuff every time someone compliments him or says a good job and like pats his head. Alright, we're gonna skip to the next one. We're going to go find Hibiki, which I don't think we did at all in the other playthrough. Apparently we did this one though. It's Hibiki here. I climbed the stairs and faced the mirror.
来てくれたんですね。
Are you waiting for me?
あ、そうです。またおしゃべりしたいなって思っていて。
His voice grew softer and softer, making it hard to hear the last thing he said.
考えてみたら僕、気持ち悪いですよね。あなたはここを通っただけかもしれないのに、待ち伏せしたりして。
No, not at all.
ごめんなさい。また僕はあなたを怖がらせてしまった。
I'm not scared really. Besides, I should be the one to apologize. I quickly interjected, hoping to reassure him. Hibiki stared back at me surprised. I only recently learned of the details about the incident, and I was worried I may have offended you. I'm very, very sorry. I bowed deeply towards him. Hibiki remained silent, and I felt I couldn't raise my head out of guilt. Then...
ありがとうございます。僕を気にしてくれて。
I slowly looked up to see Hibiki smiling. Do you forgive me?
許すも何も、僕は初めからあなたを恨んでいませんよ。僕が恨むのは、昔からただ一人だけですから。
Isao Tsukigami most likely.
僕の中にある憎しみは、いや、負の感情、そのすべてをあいつに向けないと、気が済まないんです。
Hibiki's face began to contort with raw emotion.
きっと他の人もそうだと思うけど、僕ほどあいつを憎めてはいない。今日まで何度想像で殺したかわからないくらい。
It does sound kind of creepy. Hibiki. His raw murderous hatred was unmistakable and I reacted instinctively. Let's talk about something else. Change of pace, you know. Hibiki smiled bashfully back at me.
嬉しいです。こんなに心が明るくなるのは 死んでから初めてです。
Phew. I worried Hibiki might get lost in the dark emotions, but he seemed better now. I should steer the conversation away from that topic. We're going to talk about the mirror. No doubt this will cheer him up. Is the mirror world really vast and endless?
いえ、限られていますよ。学校の建物内だけです。それでも十分広いので満足しています。鏡から生徒たちの様子を見たり、僕も授業を受けてみたり。だから昼間の明るい時間が好きです。
So you don't explore outside the mirror at night?
幽霊ばかりの世界を見ても楽しくないので。怖いとかはないですけど、あんまり興味はそそられないです。それに、会話を聞いたら心がざわめいてしまう可能性もあって、だから禁止されているんです。
Forbidden. That makes it sound like it's a rule someone else made for him. I wanted to probe further, but his mood seemed to darken, so again I changed the topic. Are there any particular students you found interesting while observing them?
ああ、一人だけいました。何年か前にこの姿見の前でダンスや歌の練習をしている生徒がいて、その男子生徒の頑張る姿を見ているうち、応援するようになっていったんです。その人は後にトップアイドルになったんですよ。
That's incredible. How did you learn about his success?
それは他の生徒たちの会話からです。この学校出身のとか聞いたり、生徒のスマホを覗き見たりして。あの時の男子生徒だって知った時、もうすっごく嬉しくて、夢を叶えたんだなって、羨ましかったです。
His dream. I envy that too, having a dream to chase. Do I even have a dream?
夢に関して何か思うところがあるんですか？
No, it's nothing. Anyway, I should get going. Oh, you upset her. I'm just kidding. Well, she is kind of upset, but I rose and began to walk down the stairs. She just leaves. Bye. Alright, now I'm going to go see Kuroha, and we're going to skip it because we saw it in his route. Alright, we're in chapter 3 now. I just thought of something going into... I said that we were going to do all of the common route for Hibiki, but that includes 2 chapters that we have not read because I don't recognize any of the choices. So I believe that chapter 4 and 5 are going to be different than Kuroha's chapter 4 and 5 because we barely saw Hibiki whenever the Wraith came out. So depending on how Hibiki's route ends up, I might have to make 2 videos. Yeah, I'm actually not sure how it's going to pan out, so we're gonna say I'm glad it was only a joke. Because the other one is an affection up. Well, I guess it is too. We read both of them too already, so we're gonna skip it. We're gonna ask Kuroha to help us instead of just watch over. He is looking for the book to grant her a wish, also, and to not really to grant her a wish. I think she thinks it's a 7 Wonders. She wants its name. Second book on the right, and we're going to write our name. We asked it for a wish that it couldn't grant. Actually, yeah, it already wrote it in for us. So Instead, we asked it what its name was, and it said it will give us our name if we give it our name. And we are Misa in this one. I'm going to keep skipping though. This is when it branches off now. So we didn't go see Hibiki in the last one. We went to go see Kuraha and we asked him about his hobbies and stuff. And so now we're going to go and do Hibiki. I wonder if Hibiki is around. Peered into the mirror, I saw him sitting dazed on the stairs. Dazed. Hibiki.
Huh?
We came and saw you, yay! He saw me, grinned, and hurried over.
僕の出番でしょうか。情報屋として頑張ります。
No, it's not that. Actually, I just wanted to have a little chat. Aw, he blushed.
嬉しいです。とっても。あ、そうだ。
Hibiki slid out from the mirror and sat down on the stairs.
さあ、あなたも座ってください。立ったままだと疲れてしまいますから。
He sure is trying to be thoughtful. Thank you. I sat beside Hibiki and looked his way.
Oh.
He's just like Kuraha. Every little affection, every little bit of attention she gives, he just blushes. He looked away quickly.
隣って緊張しますね。
Does it? Hibiki nodded and started mumbling to himself.
一緒にいるんだなって意識しちゃって。同じ場所に座ってるのが新鮮で不思議な気持ち。
He stuck in the mirror alone for so long, it made sense that he felt like this. I wanted to talk to him more and help ease those feelings of loneliness. If only I could find a way to do that.
すごく嬉しい発見をしました。触れなくても隣にいるだけで十分なんですね。
Oh, that's good. Out of context, that could be taken the wrong way. That's nice to hear. Hibiki's realization that he didn't need to touch me made me happy as well. Now what should we talk about? Okay, so I learned from Kuraha's route that we're going to look through most of these. We're not going to be looking at ghost stories and music, but I will do that in chapter 5, where it tells me to create a save file if I want voice completion, so we'll look at it then. So for now, we're just going to do the ones it tells us to do, because I noticed that doing them in order in Kuraha's route, there was a sense of like affection progression based on what you picked, and it's starting, like, it gets more personal whenever the longer you talk to him. Like, I think chapter 5 is likes. Right now we're going to ask about his hobbies. Also, they give you, I think, different perspectives too. Hibiki, why don't you tell me about your hobbies?
空想ですかね。
I think most people like to daydream. Daydreaming.
本を読むのが好きなんですけど、僕もこうだったらいいなって空想するのが好きなんです。
Wouldn't reading be the hobby there?
あと、生徒たちの会話とかを聞いて、僕がこの場にいたらって想像するんです。まあ、その後は決まって虚しくなるんですけど。
Yikes, things took a dark turn there. But you don't have to daydream. After all, we're talking together right now. Well, since it's me, I'm not sure I'll be able to live up to your daydreams.
想像以上です。あなたとの会話は楽しくて仕方ないから。ごめんなさい。ちょっと力が入ってしまいました。あなたとの時間は本当に想像していた以上に楽しくて。でも会話だけじゃなくて、あなたが来るのを待っている時間さえもワクワクして心が躍るんです。
Hibiki seems like such a lonely boy. I feel sorry for him. I'm glad to hear that.
そう思ってくれるのが
I'm glad
僕
you're
は
glad.
嬉しいです。
After that, we continued to chat about idle things, enjoying each other's company. It's a rather pleasant way to spend the time. Well, then I have something to take care of, so I better get going.
これから七不思議の会員に会いに行くんですか？
And I'm going to go ahead and use the skip button to get his perspective. But we're going to say, I'll leave it up to you, Hibiki, because we're relying on him now. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you worry, Hibiki. I'll leave the choice up to you. Hibiki started down at the floor, deep in thought. Then after a brief pause, he looked up at me with a confident smile on his face.
心を強く持っていれば、幽霊と接触しても平気です。
So I guess it's okay for him to go out.
多分。
Maybe. His confidence seemed to falter slightly. You see a ghost, let's run. Better safe than sorry, right?
そうですね。でも、あなたに危害を加えてきたら、逃げずに戦います。
Yes, he will break the race arm when it touches you. His determination made him seem a bit more dependable. Perhaps he does have a brave side.
それじゃあ、行きましょう。僕のそばから離れないでくださいね。
Okay, thank you. As we walked, I glanced over at him. I couldn't help but wonder why he was forbidden from interacting with other ghosts. Initially, he said he just wanted to tag along, but now it seemed he actively wants to protect me. Sensing that he came out of the mirror to protect me, I began to see him in a more positive light. Yay, Hibiki perspective. I felt an urge to follow her. There was a yearning that seemed to veer on uncontrollable. It was my first time outside the mirror here, and I was filled with a mix of nerves and excitement. I longed to feel the sun's warmth. Sorry the classroom is far, but it's just right there when we get to the third floor.
いえ、僕なら平気です。あ、疲れたら言ってくださいね。休憩するので。
I believe they're looking for the drawing boy in this one. I'm fine, let's keep going. I don't want to run into any other ghosts, so let's hurry to the classroom. Perhaps she was being considerate of me.
他の幽霊がいたら、あなただけ逃げてください。
I won't leave you behind.
そうしてほしいんです。僕なら何とでもなるから。
I know, he gets all scary. I've got to protect her. The warmth in her is what drew me to her, and I didn't want her to lose that. Though she looked worried and seemed to hesitate before responding. I appreciate it, but I'd be too worried about you to do something like that, Hibiki. Huh? She's worried about me. That makes me so happy. So we'll escape together.
はい。
I wish I could see his face. He's probably blushing. Being around her always lifts my spirits. Perhaps it was because I was alone for so long. Perhaps that's what attracted me to her. Was I drawn to her because she was a member of the living? Is that why I felt so strongly? I couldn't be sure. One thing I knew for sure was that I couldn't tell her how I felt out loud like Kuraha did. After all, the reason I was so drawn to her at first was because she was alive. My mind was weak, and I doubted that I could be drawn to her merely because of who she was, which only caused my heart to ache. Oh, well, that'll change. Don't worry. Alright, I'm going to jump to the next section. So they're speculating on why this had happened to her, and they think it might be the work of a god. I think it's what the book said. And Hibiki thinks that it's a good god, which I kind of thought they were talking about, like, the silhouette that was in the school, like, by the lockers, but that ended up being Kuraha's Wraith's sister. But we're going to agree with him. I think you're right. I agree, Hibiki. I like the way you think.
好きってそんな嬉しいけどすごく嬉しいけど
That was a lot of words for just you two. I understood some of it. He was blushing more because she said that she liked something that he did. Hibiki blushed, visibly flustered by my compliment.
照れちゃうな。
Thank you, Hibiki. My ring hit my mic, though I went back to reread it. He smiled shyly back at me, still blushing as he did so. To give me time to think, I remember my phone conversation with my mom and dad. So they think the ghost spirited her away to give her time to think and plan. So now we're gonna go skip to the next one. Doesn't sound like it was too far away. It must be yep, Hibiki's perspective. He left the classroom and headed back. She seemed much happier than before, which brought me joy as well. I managed to help her, even I was able to do that. Hibiki, I'd be grateful if you could keep helping me like this. But only if it's not too much for you.
それって、僕を必要としてくれてるんですか？
Oh, he likes being depended on. Yes, it does. How happy that made me to hear.
僕でよかったら、喜んでお手伝いします。いえ、したいです。
That's such a relief. Thank you so much. Her smile was so radiant that I had to look away. My heart was racing, my eyes drawn to hers. I was determined to help her return to the moral realm, but then a terrible thought crossed my mind. If she went back, it'd mean we'd have to say goodbye. I know. He was just so happy to be with her, but now he's like, I don't want you to go. Uh-oh, is that going to cause problems later? Kuraha was helping her no matter what. She was the one that was like, no, I want to stay with you. In the heavenly end, anyway, she wanted to stay with him. Alright, so we're going to skip. He seemed unwilling to accept my thanks. I don't know the context behind this. We'll just call it even. It wasn't right for one side to take the blame. Hibiki, how about we call it even? I fell and ended up dragging you down with me. I'm sorry about that. Oh, she just got attacked by the wraith. And what about you, Hibiki?
あ、判断を誤ったことで、あなたが襲われてしまって。ごめんなさい。
Okay, so we apologized to each other and we both accepted each other's apology. Then we continued. And now, a separate token of my appreciation. Thank you so much for saving me.
ずるい。おあいこの後では、それも受け入れなくちゃいけないじゃないですか。
Why do men have to make it a contest?
もう、あなたにはかなわないです。してやられました。
Hey, well, at least he gave up this time. Even though he feigned defeat, I could see Hibiki was smiling. I'll try to become stronger too. I mean, I'll try to get better at being able to face down threats like that.
あなたは十分強いですよ。というか、強くなったと思います。
Yeah, you say that, but I literally just tripped over myself.
ほら、思い出してください。
Alright.
最初、僕と会った時のことを。
I'm gonna skip.
ユイから聞いたぞ。今度のお前の行動について。
Alright, we're then at the end of chapter 3 after all the choices, and it's turning out to be different text that we haven't read. I'm not sure what the context here is either. Maybe... Ah, that's right, I haven't told Kuraha yet. I could have handled it alone, but...
大丈夫だ。ユイから聞いたと言っただろ。
Details of what? What were we talking about? I glanced at Yui, who gave me a reassuring smile. I should have told you sooner. Sorry you had to do that for me, Yui.
そこはお礼がふさわしいのではなくて。
Alright, thank you so much.
どういたしまして。
I appreciated Yui's thoughtful gesture.
お前の意志を俺も尊重する。くれぐれも気を配って行動するんだぞ。
I think she might have went to go wander around her own after she took a nap or something. Yes, thanks a lot. I'm so relieved he understands.
あなたに報告があるのよ。七不思議の一つが判明したわ。
This time I'm going to do the red all button so I can look back on context. We're in a Hibiki perspective.
早く来ないかな。
He just like waits there for her. I leaned against the wall just waiting for her to show up. When she told me she'd rely on me, I filled my heart with such excitement. My heart's always been frail, which made it tough to interact with the other ghosts, but with her things seemed different. Yet in the end, nothing about my heart had changed, and her words were just that, words. A sudden worry crept into my heart.
いや、そんなことない。前向きでいなきゃ。頼れる男になるんだから。
Believe in her. I had to be bold. Then I suddenly heard voices approach from outside the mirror. It was her voice. My heart raced with excitement. I stepped out of the mirror filled with hope. I don't remember which ghost Yui was talking about because it read so fast. Okay, I don't think they've gone to the drawing boy yet. I think she wants to go ask Hibiki for help on this one. I made a promise to Hibiki. He's not... So he's asking, are you just worried about me? And in his route, you say that's right. But in Hibiki's, we say, I made a promise. I promised Hibiki I'd try to rely on him more. Saying it out loud felt strange, but that was what the two of us had agreed to. Perhaps calling it a promise is stretching it a bit, though.
そういうことか。お前を手伝いたいみたいだったし、頼りに行ったら喜ぶだろうな。
You're probably right, but honestly, I'm the one who's happy.
話は分かった。今回は響に任せよう。終わったら保健室に戻ってくるんだぞ。
Yes, we'll do. Kudaha then walked me to the bottom of the stairs. Hibiki was already outside the mirror waiting for me, and I quickly started to explain the drawing boy rumor to him. Alright, yep. Okay, what's the best way to approach? Ask the boy about himself. Whenever we asked him about the Seven Wonders, he threw a temper tantrum and started throwing stuff at us. So we're gonna ask the boy about himself. I hesitated to press about the Seven Wonders, instead focusing on comforting the boy. Were you separated from your mom?
知らない男の人に連れて行かれて。
A man he didn't know.
多分、この子は、月神功にさらわれて、屋敷の小部屋に幽閉されていたんだと思います。
Hibiki joined me, his face filled with sorrow. I felt a sharp aching in my heart. This boy who was imprisoned by himself in one of the many rooms in that house, he was murdered as a sacrifice too.
お部屋の壁に書いたの。お母さん。
And then they're going to say that you could probably go where your mom is. She's in a good place, you just have to focus on her. And then they help him cross over. And now they're talking about leaving and saying goodbye. And I'm gonna say that makes me sad too. I don't remember what Hibiki said during this, but maybe we'll get some perspective. Strange how lonely I'll be, seeing as though we've just met. So I'm guessing Hibiki said he'd be sad. Even if I can't see you, I might still wander around the school trying to find you.
わ、それすごく嬉しいです。あなたが鏡の前に来てくれたら、話せなくても心が温かくなりそう。多分僕は、あなたのような存在がずっと欲しかったんです。心の拠り所が。
Hibiki probably needed that too after being alone in the mirror for so long. I'll come to the mirror and see you then.
ありがとうございます。
It's so sad that I'm the only one who won't be able to see them anymore. If only I could have some way to remember them. And then she takes a photo of them. Let's see, we're almost at the end of chapter 4. We might just keep going through chapter 5 just so we can get a CG and then call it done with his route. That might be a 2-hour video, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, we're going to go visit Hibiki. Where are we at? We're on chapter 4. We're gonna talk about a couple things here. I went to the mirror to visit Hibiki and already there. The moment I looked into the mirror, he was already standing there staring at me. Hibiki then quickly came out of the mirror to meet me.
ごめんなさい。あなたが来ないかなって鏡の前に張り付いていたもので。
I know, it's almost kind of eerily creepy how he just like waits for her. Oh, really? It's been a while since I've been surprised by Hibiki like that. Came here to have a little chat with you, Hibiki.
嬉しいな。今は休憩中なんですね。
On break, like she's at work. That's right. Both my mind and my body get tired if I'm always on the move.
それなら休憩のたびに来てください。あなたの心を癒します。
Aw, that was a cute line. I'll always try to heal your heart. That sounds like a wonderful idea. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. So what should we talk about? We're going to talk about school first. I think it's first anyway. I don't think it matters. Yeah, school. Okay. Hibiki, I think that school uniform really suits you.
本当ですか?
You really think so? What? I don't think that was translated properly. He was like, really? And she's like, you really think so? He was so excited, I was taken aback.
嬉しいな。まるでかっこいいと言われたみたいで。
Yeah, there you go. You look cool. Almost like I am saying you look cool.
本当ですか?
Yes. He was even more excited this time around, causing my heart to race. I should prepare myself before I compliment Hibiki again.
はあ、嬉しくて死にそうです。死んでますけど、死にそうです。
I'm already dead, but I could die again.
こんな気持ち、久しぶりです。ありがとうございます。
I felt so bad when we were going down Kuraha's route and she was saying stuff like, maybe next time I'll rely on you and stuff like that. He was so heartbroken and disappointed. I felt so bad, but look at him. He's so happy.
今の言葉を胸に強く生きていきます。死んでますけど。
Either way, it's just nice to see him smile like that. We're not going to read the other two choices until the last chapter. Alright, I think that's actually the end. So, no, there's one more choice. I want to just do the skip read. Okay, now we're at the ghost in the bathroom and we're going to try to keep talking. We've already seen this ending in Kuraha's route. Okay, I was going to say I was going to keep going just in case there was a perspective change, but there wasn't. Alright, so she got a phone call with her mom, and she wasn't sure how she wanted to handle it. Kuda has said you should probably talk about this over in person instead of over the phone. They just had a nice little chat about that, and we're gonna say thank you very much. Thanks to you, I can gather my thoughts a bit better.
それならよかった。だが、最終的にはお前が決めることだ。それは忘れるなよ。
He was such a cute character. I'm sad that we're not on his route anymore. Yes, I'll try to find my own path. Thank you very much. Kuda smiled and stood up from the bed. After he closed the curtains, I began reflecting on everything. He had helped me shift my way of thinking on these things, something which I absolutely needed. I'm going to keep skipping. Okay, so she wandered out of the nurse's office and we're going to go find Hibiki. All of this is new stuff because we didn't do this in the last playthrough. I thought about seeing Hibiki and headed to the central stairway. As long as he doesn't jump out, surprise you, right? I looked up at his cry. I saw Hibiki at the top of the stairs. Oh, Hibiki. I called out and I walked up to meet him. Are you waiting for me?
気持ち悪いって思うかもですけど、実はそうです。待ちきれなくて出てきてしまっていました。
I don't think it's creepy at all. I came to see you, so I'm glad you were waiting. Hibiki smiled with joy. It's nice to see him look so happy. Now what should we talk about? So now we're going to talk about all of them. Let's see, likes is the affection up. They might all be affection ups, I don't know, but we're going to do music first. By the way, you said you saw a certain student practice singing and dancing at one point. Do you like music?
はい。そのアイドルになった生徒を今でも応援しているので、曲を聴いたりしています。
How'd you listen to it?
生徒たちがスマホから流す音楽を盗み聞きしたりしています。自分の意思で聴ければいいのにな。
I see. I guess that's the only way he could listen. When I return to the mortal realm, I'll come here and play some songs for you. What was the name of the singer? Hibiki's expression turned gloomy for a brief moment, but he quickly smiled afterwards. He's like, I don't want you to go back.
S クラウンというアイドルグループです。特にセナさんっていう人が好きで。
Senna. I want to say that that's a character, but it's probably not. So there is a love interest named Senna. I wonder if he's the same guy. Also, if he is, he's voiced by Heath Clay's My Next Life as a Villainess. Oh, but he...
はい、亡くなっています。でも未だに人気なんですよ。
Oh, there you go. He's already passed away. So yeah, he's going to be one of the ghosts here.
セナさんはこの学校出身で、生徒だった頃、よくここの鏡の前でダンスの練習をしていたんです。
I wonder why his name is all in capital. So you were a fan even before his debut?
はい、ガチ勢っていうやつです。
I couldn't help but laugh, thinking he'd overheard that from one of the students. But once I get back to the mortal realm, I'll come here and bring you some songs to listen to.
はい、嬉しいです。
No, you need to stop talking about the mortal realm. You're depressing him. In spite of what he said, I wondered why Hibiki's expression was so gloomy. What do you think? What's gotten into him? I was so hesitant to ask for more details, so I changed the subject after that. Every time you say mortal realm, does it ring a bell? Okay. Going to go back up and choose the other options. Okay, we want to talk about ghost stories. Hibiki, you're a ghost, but are you afraid of ghost stories?
全然思わないですよ。生前からあまり怖いと思ったことはないです。
You're the complete opposite of Kudaha. Oh, that's surprising. I assumed that you would be afraid of them.
そんな軟弱じゃないです。
He's like, how dare you? I'm so glad it wasn't Kudaha that asked him. Sorry, I didn't mean to assume.
謝ることじゃないです。僕の方こそムキになってしまって。
Then can you tell me which ghost story you are most scared of?
それはやっぱりあれかな。
Is it Kudaha's story? Which one?
はい、小学生の時に体験した話なんですけど。
The one you experienced?
そうです。まあでも、怖くもあり、素敵な思い出でもあり。
I wonder what it's about.
あなたになら聞かせてもいいかも。あれは僕が。
Oh, can we save it for another time?
そうですか？聞いてほしかったんだけどな。
How dare you? You ruined the mood. Let's just save it for later. Hearing something that actually happened to him sounds way too scary. I need to try and maintain a healthy mental state. No scary stories for me. Aw, but he really wanted to tell you a story. Okay, now we're gonna go back up and ask him about his likes. Hibiki, do you have any favorite things?
好きなもの。
Why is that embarrassing? For some reason he looked away. I wasn't quite sure, but it seemed like Hibiki's cheeks were red.
それは何でもいいんですか？
He's gonna say you're his favorite thing. Sure, anything that would consider to be your favorite.
それならあるような。最近好きかもしれないって思い始めたというか。
I knew it. He started glancing at me and I felt a sharp sting of excitement and embarrassment. Wait, you talking about me? I'm getting super self-conscious now.
まだ気持ちが定まらないので、確定したら聞いてくれますか？
Can you ask me later? Oh, sure.
よかった。それじゃあ、もう少し悩みます。
He's asking about what he likes, favorite thing wise, and he's turning it into a confession. He's like, things that I like. Well, I like you, but I haven't thought it through. Can you ask me later? Funny. I'm both nervous and looking forward to his answer. Oh, really? Either way, I'm more interested in hearing more from him. Tell me more, Hibiki. Well, I should get going.
楽しい時間はあっという間ですね。僕も鏡の中に戻ります。
Hibiki reached into the mirror before turning back to me.
何かあれば来てくださいね。いつでも頼りにしてください。
That reminds me, when Kodaha tried to put his hand in the mirror, it got stuck on the outside.
どうしたんですか？
Oh. Did I ask him about it? So, not just anyone can enter your mirror world, right?
僕が許可すれば、誰でも入れますよ。
Permission, what do you mean? Yeah, I'm not sure where this lines up with the Kudaha route, but it's getting to be about the time where they meet the Wraith. And he gave her permission in his route to enter to kind of escape her. We're going to skip, though, to the next unread content, which is not very far, apparently. So I think he's asking her if she wants to come in. I just meant not right now. I meant just not right now. I would like to visit another time.
本当ですか？すごく楽しみです。
He seemed so overjoyed. I felt a little sting in my heart knowing I'd made a promise I might not be able to keep.
早く今度が来ないかな。
Well, what do I do now? It seems like he's really looking forward to it.
それにしても、出会った頃は、こんな時が来るとは思わなかったな。あなたを怖がらせちゃって。あの時を思い出すと、今も後悔するんです。
I was so happy just a moment earlier, but Hibiki began looking more and more depressed. I said this to you before, but it couldn't be helped, right? You were just drawn to the charm of being near someone living, right? If you overcome that, there's no need to feel sorry about now.
今は、そうじゃないのかな。
Is there going to be drama later on in your route when your darkness takes over? Huh?
ごめんなさい。なんでもないです。
After saying that, Hibiki quickly slipped back into the mirror.
やっぱり、あなたはこの世界に入らない方がいいかもです。
Hibiki?
さっきの会話、忘れてください。それじゃ。
Ah. He sounded rather upset. Did I say something to offend him? After Hibiki vanished, I was left mulling over the conversation again in my head. He got all emo on her. I trotted down the hallway, pondering my earlier talk with her. The charms of the living. Was I truly drawn to her? Or was it because that I was only attracted to her because she was only living creature that I had interacted with? I mulled over the problem endlessly, yet the answer still eluded me.
まあ、答えが出たところで、何も変わらないんだけど。
Once she returned to the mortal realm, it'd all be over. I'd grown used to solitude, but I'd also come to cherish and the comfort of her presence, finding fulfillment in it. Which was exactly why I felt so sad at the prospect of things returning to how they were before.
ダメだ。自分のことばかり考えたら。
Meeting her should have been enough. Her presence made me stronger, better than I had been before.
感謝しかないよね。
I felt lonely, but I'd manage. I'd simply continue my days here, cherishing the time we'd spent together. Aw, he's already preparing to say goodbye. Don't worry, she'll be stuck there for like another 4 chapters. Alright, I'm gonna skip red. We're not looking for him. Him who? Okay, so we're gonna go talk to the lunchroom girl with the poison lunchbox. And him, this is where it branches off, I'm pretty sure. And so I went to go looking for him. Being Hibiki in this one. That's why I need your help, Hibiki.
もちろんです。またお手伝いができて嬉しいな。あ、でも、そのお弁当、食べないとダメなんでしょうか？
I mean, you said it's okay if you die again, right? No, in fact, you absolutely shouldn't eat it.
それって、心配してくれてるんですか？
Of course I am. Even the thought of anything bad happening to you is unsettling. I had no idea how poison would affect a ghost, but I didn't want to take any risk.
嬉しいな。心配されると愛情を感じるというか。
Love?
あ、今のはその。
You've done it now.
とりあえず食堂に行きましょう。
Wait, Hibiki, change the subject, run. Hearing him say love made my heart skip a beat, but I'm sure he didn't mean it that way. The cafeteria was completely deserted. I wonder where she'll appear.
僕が一人になった方がいいんでしょうか？
It's funny, he says the same thing as Kuroha. Then, just as he finished speaking...
ねえ、少しいい？
Suddenly, a girl in the same school uniform as me appeared behind Hibiki.
私ね、前からあなたのことが気になっていたの。それでね、一生懸命これを作ったんだ。
He then offered him a lunchbox. No mistake about it, it's gotta be her. Strangely, she seemed to not see me despite my standing right there. That made the whole thing feel so much more unnatural and frightening.
僕は...
For now, just wait for Hibiki to take the lunchbox and avoid irritating her.
お断りします。
No. With that, Hibiki bowed politely to her. The girl and I both stared blankly back at him. Hibiki, you have to accept it.
だって、毒が入ってるから食べたらダメって。
毒？
Oh no, you've upset her. I have a bad feeling about this.
毒なんて入ってないのに。どうしてみんな私を疑うの？私は殺してないのに。どうして
下がっていてください。
Despite Hibiki's warning, I know it's not poison. There's no way a high school student could find lethal poison just lying around.
それならどうして受け取ってくれないのよ。
Oh, that. We both turned to look at Hibiki. He's like, I don't like you. Return.
だって僕は彼女のことが好きで。
Aww, he said it. Huh?
だからあなたの愛情たっぷりのお弁当を受け取るわけにはいかないんです。ごめんなさい。
The student stared blankly at him.
そう。残念だけど、それなら仕方ないわよね。
He decided to begin turning to leave. Please wait. I reached out, unintentionally grabbing her hand. Then visions began flashing in my head. We get to see her. Oh, wait. I thought we did see her memory. No, I don't think we saw her memories in Kuroha. I think she just told us.
私じゃない！違うの！それよりも早く先生を呼んで！いつ
がやると思ってたのよ。彼にストーカーしてたのみんな知ってるんだから。
おい、こいつ取り押さえろ。逃げたらやばい。
やめてよ。お願いだから誰か彼を助けて。
I know, why they're so worried about her that they can't help a man that's choking on food. The image just faded and I noticed Hibiki holding my arm.
大丈夫ですか？
I'm fine. Surprisingly, I felt totally normal. The visions didn't come with the headache I usually had when touching Hibiki. The images I saw just now, they must have been from when the boy ate the lunch and collapsed. She was panicking and calling for help. So they misunderstood you, didn't they? They thought you poisoned him, but... The girl's shoulders twitched.
私が殺したんじゃない。彼は喉におかずを詰まらせて、それで亡くなってしまったの。
I know, I believe you.
本当に？
I confidently nodded and she turned away. Like tiny drops of rain, I saw small tears begin to patter against the floor of the cafeteria.
誰も私を信じてくれなかった。人気者の彼を独り占めしたくて、私が殺したって決めつけて。
It seemed as though she wanted us to taste the lunch to confirm it wasn't poisoned.
ありがとう。信じてくれて、本当にありがとう。
She lied down, wiping the tears from her eyes.
彼、来てくれるかしら。
Huh?
お弁当を食べてくれている時にね、告白されたの。付き合ってほしいって。私嬉しくて、お弁当を食べ終わったら返事するわって伝えたの。
I was wondering if they were going to tell this story. It's so sad. Like, I can't imagine. That's the reason she was smiling. It must have been such a joyous moment for both of them.
そんな風に言ったものだから、彼、慌てて食べてしまって。
He choked.
告白の返事をしたくて待っているんだけど、まだ来てくれないのよね。
The school is in a different space right now. He won't be able to find you if we stay here. Can you help us?
何をすればいいの？
We need you to confirm that you're one of the 7 wonders of the school and tell us your name.
あの噂、私大嫌いよ。
I can't promise they'll believe me, but I'll do my best to tell everyone in the mortal realm what really happened.
それで十分よ。ありがとう。
Then after a pause,
私はこの学校の七不思議の一つ。名前は佐伯かな子。
thank you. With that, our search to find the 7 wonders of the school came to an end. Or is it? We left the cafeteria and began heading down the stairs. I'm glad we awakened the 7th one, but that means we'll have to say goodbye soon. Sadness began creeping into my heart, but then...
ごめんなさい。僕、足を引っ張っただけでした。
The whole time we were walking down the hallway, Hibiki seemed depressed. That's not true at all. Remember how you pulled me away when she was touching me?
それだけです。役に立ったのは、それだけ。
He's not giving himself enough credit. So no matter what I said, I couldn't pull him out of that mood. Then as we reached the landing between the stairs, he tried to duck back into the mirror. Wait, Hibiki. I reached out to grab his arm. I don't want to say goodbye like this. I didn't want him to go back into the mirror with things like this. I wanted to say goodbye with a smile. Everything was better because you were there. Without you, Kanako wouldn't have shown up in the first place.
それはそうですけど、僕じゃない男性。例えばクレハさんでも現れたと思います。
Oh, now he's having an inferiority complex. I'm not exactly sure how to respond to that.
多分クレハさんだったらうまく立ち回れたんだろうな。
Actually, in his dream, he wanted to run away. And she was like, no, we have to talk to her. Okay, I'm not letting that one slide. But I chose you, Hibiki. It's fine to reflect on your mistakes, but you shouldn't beat yourself up like that. When you do that, it makes me sad too, you know. Hibiki turned, reached his hand out to me, then hesitated.
ごめんなさい。
He sighed softly, then smiled.
僕はあなたの役に立てた。あなたが言うんだから間違いない。そうですよね。
Exactly. I smiled back at him, which in turn caused him to smile even brighter back at me. That's the smile I was looking for. Let's do our best to keep smiling like this, okay?
それはすごく嬉しいというか嬉しすぎます。
Are you not gonna even remember that he said that he liked you in the cafeteria? It sure is nice to see him smile. Oh right, I should check to see if all the corpse flowers have been filled in. Swiftly took the sheet out of my pocket. They're all colored in. I had expected as much, but seeing it in reality filled me with so much joy. Look, Hibiki, it's all thanks to you.
そんなあなたの頑張りが実を結んだんです。
Is she going to get an 8th one in this one? His joy at the situation seemed mixed with sorrow.
最後にあなたのお手伝いができてとても良かったです。本当に。
Still, I knew he was also sad to be left alone again. I wonder if there's still time before I go back. Hibiki, would you mind if I visited the mirror with you right now?
Eh?
Aw. That's what he wants. I thought he'd be happy with the suggestion. His reaction was the opposite of what I expected. Is that not okay? He's worried. He seemed so happy the last time I asked, so I was expecting the same reaction, but I guess he was acting a little strange the last time I asked too. Sorry, is that too much to ask? In that case, well...
そうじゃないんです。そうじゃなくて違うんです。多分僕はあなたがこの中に入ったら閉じ込めてしまうから。
Lock me in. Huh? What do you mean, Hibiki? Hibiki's eyes began to wander, refusing to look at me. The phrase sadness is going to get the best of him and keep you from going home. Finally, after hesitating, he opened his mouth to speak.
あなたがいることに慣れてしまって。だからまた一人になるのは寂しくて。
See, you have been alone for so long, I was beginning to understand, but you're not alone anymore. You have Kuroha, right?
あなたがいいんです。僕の気持ちに寄り添ってくれる。そんなあなただから。一緒にいたいって、そう思うんです。多分僕は、あなたが好きなんです。
My heart raced at his words. Feelings for me in chapter 5? Oh my goodness. Still, one doubt lingered in my mind. And you mean not just because I'm alive? I asked, my voice filled with tension. Again, Hibiki's eyes wavered, and he stared down at the floor, refusing to say anything else. Perhaps he hadn't come to terms with his own feelings yet. I know, he said come ask him again later. In the one time we touched, perhaps my warmth triggered a desire in him to fill the void, but after that point he started helping me more and more. He gave me words of encouragement and helped me along the way. Just a little more. I wish I could stay with him just a little longer. I couldn't say goodbye to him like this. If only I could help him cross over. I let go of the paper and touched his arm. I became stronger here thanks to everyone's help. Even Hibiki came out of the mirror to help me. Finally, I think I have the courage to stand up for what I want to do in the future, and so now it's my turn to help you. Please, God, give me a little more time here. I want to help you cross over, Hibiki. It's what's best for you. The printout fell to the floor. Uh-oh. It disappeared. Oh my goodness. And one of the corpse flowers was drained of color. What color was it before? Was it Hibiki's? Hibiki's one of them, right? Could it be that God granted my desire and erased it? After all, that was Hibiki's flower. I knew it. What is going to be the story of this one? Oh my goodness, I need to know. No, chapter 6. Dang it. I'm so curious now. So that was such a short chapter. I'm going to include it in the endings. Not in the endings. I want to include it in the last video. Alright, so we're in chapter 6 now of Hibiki's route, and that's where his main route starts up. I went ahead and scrapped the entire thing I said after the end of chapter 4, because this is only 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes probably. So I'm including it all in one because I don't like making just 30-minute videos. I mean, it's almost nothing. I mean, you have to wait a whole nother day for it to come out, so. But I was this anxious in Kuroha's route too, so the stories are really good in this one. I'm very much enjoying the stories so far. And he's already confessed his feelings for her. He hasn't even begun yet. I don't remember when she confessed to Kuroha. Not confessed, but like when things started moving along. I think it was about the time where the wraith touched her on the face and she got a mark. And she was trying to hide it because she was afraid of looking at him because she was scarred. And he just accepted her the way she was. That's the first time touching her too. And I think that was like in his first chapter as well. So anyway, yeah, watch Kuroha's route first if you haven't, because I'm going to be spoiling stuff from here on out, stuff that I've already read. So I definitely recommend watching the episodes in order. I'll make a disclaimer at the beginning of this episode. I'll put it in the comments, not in the comments, but I'll put it in the description. But yeah, if you don't want spoilers for anything, definitely watch them in order. But I apologize if I don't go in the order that people may want to view them at. I did take a poll at the beginning of this before I even started, asking which common route that I should go down first, and most people voted Ghost Stories, so I started with Ghost Stories. And I will read each common route entirely when I get to them, but for things that we've already seen, like Hibiki's route, instead of making 4 extra videos of something that I already read, then I'm just skipping through them so that we can get into Hibiki's part of the story, which is like, you know, the other half of the Ghost Stories. But if you guys did enjoy, drop a like down below and or subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.